Hey Taylor,
Hey, how you doing?
how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Looks like just a couple people today in here. Nobody, basically. Have the meetings been getting smaller, or sometimes they get big, small?
No, last week we had a pretty good showing. I think there was close to 15, 20 people in here.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, there's always a lot of insight in this. Hey,
yeah,
I have a just some questions on my end.
yeah.
This is more of a kind of technical kind of question, but what are the capabilities of working with an AI agent and smart with an API keys? Like, could you give me a breakdown of, I mean, I know how they kind of work, and I know it's basically on our end having a AI agent, whether it's OpenAI, Claude, or any other one. Have you
hmm
seen anybody do anything with that? Whether it's good stuff, bad stuff, have you seen any sort of, you know, case study regarding that?
Using our API,
Yes.
I don't think there's anybody that's using it. I'm sure there have been some that have attempted to use it. But I don't know if our API is really set up to be used with AI. I guess I would wonder what you're trying to use it for. I'm assuming you're more going towards, you know, customer can write you a message and says, "Hey, how's my order doing?" And you would like the AI to say, "Hey, Mr. Joe, I see that your order is still in processing, or it's been assembled and it's waiting on the bagging stage," or something like that.
Yeah, you're on that rather than I find myself a lot of doing kind of manual things where I'm like, oh, if I can do this all in action by a certain day, I can communicate with all of these customers rather than, and I know that's how certain dry cleaners work. They have a production manager or something like that. It's just something in my head that I was thinking of because I saw it and I was just asking questions on Claude about it, and then it was like, oh,
hmm
Smart has an API, and you can ask them about it. Just and I was thinking about it, and it's just something not necessarily minor. I feel like if I were really to focus on this, it could make my workflow and a lot of the things that I do a little bit faster and more actionable.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that Claude knows about Smart. So um, I know Claude is aware of how Smart works. And so it can probably give you some answers that you didn't think that it would be able to answer for you. Um, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. This is something that I've been talking to Bill about within the last couple of weeks is, we want to be able to provide, you guys a tool as well as us a tool that would, I guess, help bridge the gap. Because most of the people that are, working in support are more tech oriented and looking at the technicalities. And so if there was a way to bridge the gap between production mindset, knowing what dry cleaning is, how it works, and all of those things, I think it would be helpful for everybody. So I mean, I'm kind of just in the planning and idea stage, if that makes sense, of like what best helps everybody.
Yeah, I totally get it. It's that kind of bridge that you were talking about, just because sometimes in production, it's not about being, like you said, being a tech savvy or whatever, spending time a lot in the computer, but it's like, hey, if certain orders and we have all these orders that are not done, and I'm literally thinking of communicating all at once with customers, but
hmm
not flag Twilio, not, damage the scoreboard or Twilio, all of those things. Cause I think about it where I'm like, okay, I don't want to be sending out messages and we don't have smart marketing. That's definitely
hmm
something we're going to hop on, but it's just like, I want to do it like long term. I want to do it like maybe 3 months, 4 months that I can actually see if it works. And then I'm literally thinking, oh, okay, if we're going to turn that on, and then again with OpenAI or Claude, you're like, holy crap, if you really try to build those systems in, it's really like, it's very powerful. Like you said, just kind of starting that foundation rather than just winging it almost. And that's why I had questions about it because I'm like, oh, what is it more of just like, okay, can the messages be automated? I know they already are, but that's kind of with smart marketing. And then on top of that, smart already has automated messages. So I'm just thinking of, and this is just on my end because I find myself doing just those manual texts. There's no problem with that, but I'm like, okay, if I have, and we're starting to have more orders. On top of that too, this is again just communicating with customers. I'm having a lot of customers signed up, and they'll get that first opening message, and I'm like, okay, I want to contact them again, but I don't want to flag our Twilio account because I don't want to send them a promotion text. I want to, and I'm trying to find out the fine line of not giving out like discounts or word or have the wording of any sort of money that
Yeah.
but push them to like, well, you signed up for a reason. You gave me literally where you live for a reason. You're not just, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of them, and I don't want to lose them.
Yeah, there was a company I just spoke to this morning. They built a report for new customers that have signed up within the last 7 days, and it doesn't even quantify into who brought in an order and who didn't. Then they proceeded. They actually hired somebody. This person's uh, younger individual. Sounds like they're probably going to move towards like assisting them with marketing, whether it's like on the ground marketing or just it sounds like physically they're going to be calling people, calling, emailing, texting, whatever it is.
Hmm.
And that person is going to go through and make sure that they call each individual person or reach out to them in some sort of way to see how their experience was, see what they could have done better, or see why they didn't proceed with an order. So, I mean, that's a different method. Obviously, most people, or I guess I should tell you what I should be saying, but you already know this is our marketing team will do that for you, right?
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
already
Hmm.
have things in place to automatically do that for you.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, we're talking about in a different realm, in a different aspect of what can we do to make things better and make things easier for everybody. I would say attempt to go down the rabbit hole of API, especially using Claude. I think Claude would probably be the best bet. You can try the other ones as OpenAI and things like that, but
Hmm.
um,
Because the reason I brought this too is I'm doing things personally in my life with those tools, and I'm like, holy crap! If I can do this with Smart, and Smart is already a fascinating tool for me. I just see like that workflow, the customers, and mainly the way I see it too is like customer communication is very, very important on our end. Meaning like we don't want to have customers to just deliver their orders and they just kind of get an automated text. Yes, it just needs to be just more personalized rather than feel like, especially now that we have moved to like an AI world where everything is a chatbot. Yes, they're very nice, they're very cool. It's easy. I want to get that information very quickly. But sometimes within the business that we are, people still kind of want to reach out to you. We're like a local business. You know what I mean? It's not like we're not a giant corporation that you're just gonna call somebody and wait. You know what I mean? It's more local. So that's why I literally think that's why it's so important in my end, because it literally translates into those relationships. And I see it every year. We need to maintain those relationships because they'll come back. They'll give us those accounts. They'll be a big account, small account. Doesn't matter what it is. We need to maintain that kind of customer communication strong and not feel like, okay, we missed a stain, a button, even if it's a minor thing, always kind of have it in there. And on my end, it's a lot of stuff where I'm like, okay, if I can automate it, if I can make all those templates, all in there, that it's very specific, then it's a lot better. And then all my team can just go in there, look at the template, pick one that's right, and then send it out.
yeah, yeah. And there was a company that managed to they stopped doing it because became too much work for them, but um, where they were having every notification route to I don't know if you know what Slack is, but sent it to a Slack channel in automation. So that we would actually ring the person's phone, whoever it was, every single notification, every single text,
Wow.
regardless of what it was, it went and they made some type of method where they would either reach out to the person or they at least knew exactly what was going on the entire time throughout the business. So there are people that have tried to do other things, and kind of expand that communication area between customer and business. At the end of the
One
day, they end up resorting back to a different method. So they try it for a couple months and then they move on. That's just
and
from what
again,
I've seen. So
yeah, thank you for all your help. I think you also helped me, I think, a couple months ago about like sorting out the channels. Another question that I had too, we're getting a lot of inquiries of wedding gowns. Do you know a way where I can have all of those people, and I mean it's a good amount, be in one single channel compared to just they're all in my I have two channels, right? I want them all to
Mhm.
be one channel, meaning I know this customers because there's a lot of them and they're like, this is all wedding gowns. And I already know to go to reports and basically the ones that all the leads that I got, I can find them there. But I want to have it more of like, okay, I have all of this communications. And again, communication is really, really important on our end, and I don't want to lose them. You know what I mean? Is there a way? Have you seen any of that? Do we have to make something? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I didn't make it. I know that Mike was able to do it, and I can pick his brain about it. There is one company that did the exact same thing with wedding dresses. I don't know how it's set up. I do know that it was with a different message template or a different message group,
Hmm.
and only like one specific type of message was supposed to go out. Maybe two or three, actually, now that I think about it. As in, like your order's been created, your order's ready, and I want to say there's one other message. I can't think of it. But yeah, they
Because
had it.
no,
They had it set up to where it only goes out to people who put in wedding dresses, and but it was very.
because
I'll need to talk to Mike about it to see how.
one thing that I see, but this is more of like manual. I'm like, okay, every single time that there's the client's wedding gown, I'm like, I can move that customer to a specific agent, and then that agent, right? We can create a
Mhm.
chart flow, but that would be a lot. That means that every single time that somebody's coming in, I would have to push that customer to that agent on Smart. Does that make sense? I was thinking about it that way because I'm like, okay, is there a way where I'm like, holy crap, there's all of these customers and they're mixing in with like, let's say, raw customers, regular customers are just asking for a button, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to. I mean, yes, I'm going to deal with all of them, but I'm like, I want to deal with this customers right now because they are priority. I don't want to lose them. Feel like I'm losing them, and then don't want to be messaging somebody about a button. If that makes sense, even though I know the
Mhm.
channels are all there, but I'm like, I don't, I'm like, I can deal with this kind of later. I want to deal with this kind of now because I don't want to miss it.
Right. Sorry, I'm writing a note right now. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to get back to you on that as to exactly how it was set up. And I know that there was some type of downfall from it. But I have, off the top of my head, I can only think of if the customer is to bring in a different type of order. So say they just bring in a wedding dress one time and then they start bringing in their dry cleaning. I think there was a manual process after that that had to be done for that specific customer. But I mean, that was created probably 8 months ago. So Smart's changed a lot since then. It, it,
Yeah, I
it may
understand that.
not even be a
Yeah,
problem
I don't want to
anymore.
take anybody's stand, but thank you about discussing with me about kind of Claude and OpenAI. And that way, it just gives me an idea of, again, just bulking. I already know Smart does it, but just doing it a bit more. It's just something that I'm thinking about. And again, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, of course. All right. Other questions? Will, I believe you got your checkbox for the customer portal. I think you're muted, or at least I can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you. All right. Other questions? Any questions? I guess I'll put this PSA out there right now. If at any point in time you have this weird two settings that just pop up on your screen, and this would probably be something to disseminate down to any of your counter employees, really. Okay. Just make sure that they don't click anything, especially if they see config wizard. If Yeah, I hear you. So recently we've had a couple people that have been turned on to a type of, well, we call it as onboarding mode. Essentially, it's what we turn on before people are actually live with us, so we can change their settings and do things that they need. But if for whatever reason it gets turned on and people start clicking buttons underneath that config wizard. I'm trying to get it changed so this isn't even an option anymore, but it can completely mess up all of your business settings if things are not clicked correctly. So it's very rare, but it has happened twice this week. So yeah, just something to keep an eye out for. The only way that it happens is if somebody at Smart turns it on. So that's the only worry about it.
Hey, Tyler, what were the two specific, the boxes or whatever pops up? Could you repeat that again? Not the whole thing, but just the.
Yeah. So it's like two cogs or two, like the settings image will pop up right in the center of the screen. I don't remember what the right one is, but the left one is configuration wizard, something like that, something wizard. And once you click that, it basically asks you a bunch of questions about your business, and it alters your settings if you complete it. For instance, a very large company just accidentally had it happen to them, and they just lost all of their Twilio. Everything is, I mean, I can easily put it back in, but that impacts all of their routes and a lot of other things. So just if you see it, just give somebody a call. Don't touch any buttons.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we did get terms and conditions. It's great. Just, I think the one thing that caught us off a little bit when we were setting it up is you have to do not only the terms and conditions, but you have to do the privacy. So you have to upload both of those and then it turns it on. If you just do terms and conditions, it will not populate.
Interesting. Okay.
It doesn't give you any warnings. Say that again, Jason.
That's by design. The privacy policy is actually something that's required as well. Terms and condition is not, but privacy policy is a requirement.
Yeah, well, I think that the feedback I got from Kendall and Johnny was it took them a second to figure it out because they kept adding the terms and it didn't have like a pop-up that says that you have to do both or you have to do the privacy versus the terms and conditions.
Yeah,
but they figured it out. I don't know if you talked to me or so.
No, I remember. I think I sent you. I sent you a message about it when we first launched it, but I also sent something to our development to get that fixed, so that way there is no confusion because it is confusing. When I was testing it out, I was like, "Wait a minute," and then they explained it. We need to have that.
They can always either way, it's awesome. It takes one step away from having it on your website, someone holding you accountable that they didn't accept the terms. Like, oh, that's a big deal.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I think I saw it and I was like, okay, perfect. About time we got that all completed. I know it was in a process for a bit.
Yeah, well, I think you guys have also a little bit of pressure because Twilio's terms and conditions, you also have to have that. Otherwise, Twilio is going to shut things off.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was something coming down the pike from Twilio that ultimately is forcing everyone's hands.
Well, it's not Twilio that's forcing us. They are just enforcing what I think FCC is enforcing. So right. It's national issues that they're just like, well, we have to make sure you're abiding by these rules. So yeah.
Yep. Got a question, Tyler. I don't know if anyone on marketing, but are you guys doing anything with SEO or Google or Facebook when it comes to like marketing or ad spend?
And is it working as well? Yeah, actually, Tony, he's really good with that. We do have an ads product that we have where you basically pay per click, and then there's his upfront cost as well. But yes, we do have that.
Got it. Is there a floor and a ceiling to that, or is it just how many clicks and you're paying, or is there some like pricing setup just like with marketing?
There's a pricing setup, a marketing cost to have us set that stuff up for you, and then I believe there's what is it, like you put in X amount of dollars for the month for Google ads and whatnot. I'll recommend reaching out to Tony. I can have him reach out. We can talk that over with you a lot better. But yeah, we do have it. We do have an ad service.
Okay, perfect. And when he does that, can you ask him to put Kendall and myself on it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, very good. Enrique, I was answering your question. Yes, we are still doing the live support calls. We just tweaked the hours a little bit. So now it'll be running from 10 a.m. Eastern time to 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's just strictly for the live calls. Perfect. And if you ever forget what time frames it is, I posted it in the announcements in the lower left-hand side, the question mark, so that way anybody could see it. And there's actually a button there that you can click it and join it. Okay. Other questions?
This is kind of like a future wondering request, and I don't know. I jumped on after Enrique was actually talking, but have you guys thought of expanding on the messaging and making it into a more like CRM-esque type feature? Example like HubSpot, or allowing HubSpot to API, because there's so many aspects outside of Smart that tie into Smart, that you have these chains of following up with customers or following up with X, Y, and Z, and I just wonder if that's at all on the like 2-year out plan.
So not that specifically, right? So what Enrique and I were talking about before others joined, is looking for kind of just gathering information, right? Bill and I have
When
been
you say
discussing.
when you say gathering information, can you give me an example?
Yeah, gathering information from our customers, from clients, to see what we could do, what tools we could do, or look into adopting to assist that communication barrier between, if it's between us and you, as in support and companies using Smart, and also helping our Smart clients talk better or communicate better with their customers.
So what did Enrique want with better communications between Smart and customer?
What I wanted is, I don't have Smart marketing on right now. And I don't want to you guys were talking about Twilio. I don't want to get flagged to Twilio, right? Because I don't want to be sending out a bunch of marketing messages. That was just one thing that I was thinking about. And again, on my end is, you probably know this too, communication is very, very important with customers. So wherever you are in the pipeline, where you're dealing with a wedding gown or you're dealing with a regular kind of customer, I was asking Tyler about if Claude or OpenAI could be connected to Smart, and then basically, rather than, I think a production manager does that right throughout the day, they should go throughout the day and could you do that all at once? That's what I was thinking of. I know maybe Smart marketing does it already, but that's just something that I was thinking in my mind, meaning like, if I always have to communicate with these customers, doing it all at once rather than one by one, if that makes sense.
Enrique, what are you referring to when worried about being flagged by Twilio? Just background for marketing, we set up a campaign so that way you don't really get flagged by Twilio for marketing messages, mass send outs.
I don't have marketing on, so I'm still using basically just the standard, and I have seen that when and I was discussing this with Tyler, I have all these customers, right, that are in our system. I don't want to lose them. And I don't know if, I don't want to send another message giving out any discount, any sort of pricing, because I don't want our phone number to get locked. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so your worry is because you don't have marketing offering them something, you're going to get flagged, which is a good worry. I mean, honestly, I'm still surprised you haven't jumped on with marketing. You've been talking about it for a while now.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it's just something we don't want to do. It's not necessarily a me thing. It's just something that I have to run through my brother. He doesn't want to do it, and it's totally fine. That doesn't mean that I can't work around it or continue to think of all of these customers that we have. Because again, in my end, I feel like I'm losing them. They're just piling them in our system. They're just becoming kind of doormats, just not turn them on. It feels like they're not active. That's all I'm thinking about, rather.
Hey, so Enrique, just so you can have a conversation with your brother, I think you need to sell how much net revenue you can bring in with Smart marketing versus the cost of Smart marketing. So I'll give you a real quick example.
I think it's worth it.
Well, no, I know you do, but if your barrier is Josue, and then, like I said, this is the conversation. So if you look at it, our last promo we did for, I think, 7 days, it was $15 off, and it goes to customers that have not been in within 90 days. And when you end up looking at what we ended up generating, so our net amount, and so we do this in three different marketing setups. So we have the first that goes out, and let's say it's 7 days long. And then we have a reminder that goes out 2 days before it expires to use it. And then after it's expired, we then reach back out to those customers again saying, hey, it looks like you applied this to your account, but you didn't use it. So we're opening it up for another 2 days. So the first session of that, the first 7 days, we netted $2,862, and the gross revenue was $3,447. The reminder 2 days before ended up making the gross revenue $5,566, and we ended up netting $4,599. And then our final push for that, saying, hey, you applied it to your account, but you didn't use it. The gross revenue was $8,177. Discount amount was $1,400, and the net amount that we made was $6,736. If you can't tell your brother,
I know,
hey,
right?
That's how much off of, what is it? I have no idea. Is it $300 a month, something like that?
Yeah.
That off of one campaign, off of not even existing customers, they're 90 days out. I don't even call them customers. But then they see the opportunity because they like our service, but they might not like our price. So if you can't tell your brother that based off of your database currently, you could immediately drop this in, and I guarantee get people through your door.
No, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. It's just a
that,
matter of
those
that
totals alone would pay for the year.
You're right. No, you're definitely right.
That's not even talking about all the other benefits of being with marketing and what else you can do with having promos, individual promos that you can actually trace back and make multiple and get all the reporting from it.
No, thank you for this conversation, Will. I'm not disagreeing with you. What you're telling me, I believe it. I think it's true. I'm not really sure why he doesn't want to turn it on. He wants to do other things. It's totally fine. I just keep on thinking about this because I know there's value in this, meaning like the customers are there. And I'm like, we don't have it on. And I used to do it manually. I used to just be like, kind of like, fuck it, man. I'm just going to start texting them because we're waiting on them. I'm like, we need more people to come in. And then I saw it, meaning like when I would send out messages being like, hey, we noticed you signed up a couple of days ago, like, would you like to come in? They would come in. So everything you're saying about those inactive customers is true. And it's just a matter of turning them on and having, like you said, even if it's $500, doing however it might be doing now, it will pay off in the year. Like it should pay off.
I mean, even still, if you wanted to, you can go get segment customer IO, get another Twilio number. You're still going to pay. It might be a little bit cheaper, but you got to manage it all yourself. And you still, like some of those things, you're still not going to be able to get the benefit that Smart offers out of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Will.
All right, very good marketing pitch right there. Other questions that we've got? Well, I mean, I guess going back to Will, your original question, is there anything that we're looking at doing to help with message templates or expanding that? Nothing solidified yet. Right now, I'm open to ideas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there are ideas out there, one thing that I'm trying to push is get some form of AI into Smart. I think we're behind on it. It's just my opinion. But when you
say that, like, do you mean an open AI within Smart, like inside Smart?
Well, and that's the problem. Well, that's the hard point, right? Is trying to figure out what the best use case would be. Part of me wants to say we get rid of the learning guides. I don't think hardly anybody uses them. If they do, it's after they've already talked to support and support's given them the article and said, hey, just a reminder, there's this article that you could use for future references. Whereas if we had some type of training resource AI bot that you could go in there and type in a basic question of, hey, my press only discount, I would like to increase it to 30%. How could I do that? And then it just tells you, hey, there's a press only discount setting. You can get there by going here and then searching for it. Or just provided basic answers, but nothing in depth is kind of where I'm leaning. But I don't know how helpful that would be for the counter person or for the driver that may have a question, or even, the owners and the actual managers that are using Smart. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Aren't you guys lightly playing with AI right now? Because I know that you guys have done a lot of talk around KPIs and what they mean to people. And I think that isn't that conversation around actually implementing some form of AI in reporting, and that those KPIs are what are actually kind of like holding you, putting some gravity on you guys, because it's not as easy as how everyone uses those KPIs. Like if you're using them for an API for like we built our own dashboard, and so we pull API and into that dashboard, and then if you guys kill the reports or the KPIs, then we're out that dashboard.
Yeah, yep. There are some hard points with that, and just from what I've heard, I don't think we are pursuing the AI in reporting as hard anymore. It might be because of that, because there are large groups of cleaners that are, physically in groups, social media groups or whatever they are, that have specific things like dashboards or custom things that they've taken the time to build out. And obviously we wouldn't want to ruin that for people. So I know we're still trying to do stuff with reporting to make it easier and better, but I don't know what is being done with it exactly.
Yeah, are you guys doing anything with the QuickBooks integration?
Oh yeah, so I did see that you can actually export to, I mean, it's not the exact same as what I think some people were picturing, but there is an export to QuickBooks button in the credit card deposit screen. I'm actually not sure if it's anywhere else though. I haven't taken the time to explore it actually. Let me see real quick. Yeah, so there is under credit card deposits, as soon as you choose one of the accounts and you hit export to accounting, there's a drop down that comes down and it shows 2 or 3 different ways that people have come to us asking about, exporting to their specific type of, let's see if there's another one. Oh, no. Okay. It looks like it's just for the credit card deposits report from what I'm seeing. Everything else just says export to CSV.
Do you guys have anything in the pipeline on improving like time clocks or PPOH?
PPOH.
When I say time clocks, it's like time. Yeah, because time clocks, you guys don't have it where they can clock in and out of departments. So we actually don't use smart time clocks. We use them for PPOH only.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a little bit of that where if that was tied in, being able to understand your productive labor would really be neat.
Yeah, there have been a couple questions brought up to me about time clocks and capabilities and limitations. I think everybody here knows that it's very basic as to what you can do with it. I haven't heard any talks about modifying or changing the way that our current time clock works. I can mention it and see what I get from it, just to see if I get any information. Or if, chances are what I'm going to be prompted with is what are people wanting to do, and how often is this question coming up? Those are going to be the 2 questions that I'm going to be hit with to give numbers and answers about.
Yeah. So you're pretty much outside of me.
No.
I'm your use case.
No, there's I mean, the more that I'm thinking about it, it comes up often.
So many.
Yeah,
but there's just other pieces. Like the issue is if you want someone who wants department and time clocks, they want to tie it to PPOH, and most people, once you get to that point in the conversation, they're not going to want to invest into the stations at every single press to get their productive labor hours. And then not only that, most managers or owners can't even enforce their employees to clock out for their 10-minute break or their half an hour break. So how are you then going to get them to clock in and out of departments when they do that? So you have to be a really well-run organization to utilize that. Otherwise, it's all great, when window dressing at a conference or a trade group when you're sitting there acting like you're doing it. But how many people are actually going to do it?
Yeah, that is the other thing is a lot of people do their what's it called? Their time clocks differently, or how they pay their employees is all different. So navigating that structure is another uphill battle. As for the pressing stations, I don't know if this is public knowledge. I don't know if anybody's, I would assume our salesmen are pushing it, is that we are doing discounted pressing stations. All they can do is press at it. They can, from my understanding, is that they can log in, clock in, and all you can do is press. If you're trying to do anything else, it is not going to let you. I don't remember the amount off the top of my head. I want to say it's actually, I'll say reach out to your salesman because I don't know the exact price. I do know that it is a discounted rate. But for PPOH, what you're wanting is more of a production-esque report, right? Something that assists you in entirely all of your production.
Yes. Yeah, so that's why time clock and by department and PPOH, if that got tied in and then building in formulas to that, then it could print out reports and let us know where we are. And the hardest thing of that would really just be making sure that employees are clocking in and out of the right department or job.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see where you're going with it.
Yeah, because ultimately, like if you look at like the pillars or the foundation of a business, most people don't want to talk about productive labor. They don't want to talk about inventory. They don't want to talk about natural resources. And those are the three things that are really the on the ground. If you want to change your business, like every single month, you have to manage those. But most people want to talk about marketing because marketing is like flashy and it's like, oh, I'm going to go chase it. But within really 2 weeks to a month, you can really, if you manage your labor correctly, get that back relatively fast versus chasing it with sales.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. You gave me an idea. All right.
The other thing that I saw that was neat that you guys had, and I wonder why Smart doesn't have it on Smart Light. I did a demo of Smart Light the other day, and you guys have Smart Light has a real good PPOH for wash, dry, fold. Or like I don't know if it's PPOH, but what it shows is it shows what washer that order goes into, what dryer that order goes into, and then when it finishes.
Are you sure that was Smart Light and not Bubble Pay?
It was Bubble Pay, but the version that I was looking at was Smart Light. And then, what they were showing me was you get that information through Smart Light and Bubble Pay, how it's connected.
Interesting. I didn't even know that those two were connected.
Yeah, because I wanted it connected into Smart.
Okay.
And I said, I want it Smart into Bubble Pay. And they said, no, you have to use Smart Light for that. And then I actually reached out to Bill and asked Bill, and he was like, let me think about it.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see how that conversation would go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least he's aware. So, okay.
Yeah. And I think you guys are in North Carolina.
Yeah. Yep.
He said you guys are going to have a full laundromat online with all the bells and whistles, with all of the Smart Light and everything. And once that comes up, I'll probably come down there and visit it because we have a laundromat also.
Yeah, they're working on it. Yeah, that's in process.
Yeah.
Oh, I was writing down that idea you gave me. Okay. All right. Looks like we got about just over 10 minutes left. We have other questions. Could be anything. I know this conversation has been all over, but it's all good.
Now, I have a question. Since we're talking about pipelines,
Yeah.
one of my issues is the search engine. Is there anything in the pipeline trying to make that search engine a little more for items, a little more user friendly with the brands and?
Right. I know that we just revamped that search engine. I mean, it's probably 3 months old now since we did it, maybe even 4 months.
Added the agent, I think.
Yeah, but you're specifically talking about the item search, right? Or the order search?
Item search.
Item search. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything on the board about it.
Didn't that just recently get a lot better?
I'm sorry?
He's talking about the actual when you hit the magnifying glass and then the search items, that area.
Got it.
Yeah, if you get a Ralph Lauren, you have Ralph Lauren Sport, you have Polo, you have, depending on how your CSR puts it in. So if you're searching for an item, trying to find the home, you have to go into every single category of the brand. It's just, and y'all are able to do it with colors. I've noticed where if I have, something that's multicolor and I only put in 2 colors, the search will bring in several colors. So I think we could do it with the brands as well, or if it's pants versus slacks. I don't know. Am I the only one that has an issue with trying
To find lost items,
right?
or they're not lost items. Lost. You have an item, but you have no idea who it goes to.
Correct.
Yeah.
So no barcode.
No barcode.
Yeah. We do that. We have someone who's assigned to that daily. I don't know exactly how we do it, but I know that someone's assigned to it every single day, and then they go through it at the end. I wonder if Johnny, you give me a second, I can probably ask how she does it, unless Tyler has an idea of how that gets done.
No, I mean, me and Matt have been trying to bounce ideas. I've tried building some reports, and
Here,
none
give
of
me
them
two
are really
seconds.
sufficient.
Hey, how do you find no barcodes? I know you have some, like you were saying that Dylan was doing it at the end of the day. What do you guys do?
Matt, just wanted to mention the way we handle those are through reports, and then what we would need is an approximate a date that it came on board. But if you don't know that, then it's hard to tell, of course. But we basically just use a report that's filtered down to no barcodes, and then we filter down to the brand and the color, things like that.
Okay.
But if you don't have a detailed date or anything like that, then it could be anybody's.
Yeah, I mean, we have a range, but usually, I mean, I got a whole rail here.
So what I was told that they do is you also have to remember we take photos of everything. So they use Lot Manager, and they scroll down through Lot Manager, and they look at the description and picture to the item they actually have in hand.
Okay.
Which you guys are looking at adding
Looking
cameras.
at taking pictures. Yeah, we have not started.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have I can poke around and see what ideas we can come up with that I mean there has to be some type of way that we can make it better. It's just hard because you're filtering information, the same information that, Mark was mentioning and Will mentioned. So
Right.
I gotta go.
all right.
Who do I need to reach out? I know we looked at this a while back, but look a little bit more in detail at the marketing. Who do I need to?
I would recommend reaching out to your salesman. If you don't know who it is.
Myself? Yeah.
I don't have that information.
Okay.
But you can call in. I can pull up the sales number. You could give them a call, or actually, I'll just have them reach out to you.
Okay. We have to call my cell, or is it?
Yeah, I can have them do that. All right. Yeah. If you want, you can either say your cell phone number or send me a message or whatever.
No, that's fine. It's 405 623 7844.
Okay. All right. Send them a message, and so they should be ringing you whenever they have some time.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Looks like we got just over 5 minutes here. If you have any other questions, and so for those who are still here, just so you know, I know I already mentioned it, but I'm open to hearing ideas of how we can make SMRT better, whether it's communication aspect between you and your customer, or really whatever it is.
I know this is not a priority, but if the communications were more smart, to use the phrase, that would be helpful. And what I mean by smart, the example that I had this morning that I wanted to discuss with you, Tyler, again, not urgent, and I'm confident it won't get attended to, but it's I have on each customer profile whether or not they left me a review, and
That's a good one.
thank you. And that way I can provide them the right type of service, knowing that they have given me a review, number one. Number two, I shouldn't be asking them for another review. They gave me one, right?
Right.
So in my smart messaging, it should be able to look, and forget about the review part, but it should be able to look whether or not their preferences are set to fold or set to hang or no starch or starch. And their confirmation messages can be more robust, and it could be smarter and say, your shirt pickup for tomorrow is confirmed, and we'll fold everything because that's your preferences, right? Or like, don't send this person a review request. They've already reviewed, so there should be somewhere programmatically where Smart can look at the profile of the customer and curate a message that's specific for them. You know what I mean?
So it's a preference that says they've left a review.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Same as the preference of whether or not they want their shirts folded, right?
Yeah,
Or
right.
if they want no crease or
The
anything.
only thing that I know could fix that, you're using our marketing, right? Or no? You're using a different marketing?
No, we're not using any marketing.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Unless if you're using, because you've got to be using some type of reporting, right?
To do what?
To filter out these people that need to get reviews.
Oh no, not at all. And it's just using our brain like from memory, saying, "Oh yeah, that person left a review," or we'll go manually, check and see if we've, you know, marked
Interesting.
on
Because
some.
so what I would do if it were me, I would create a customer field that says if the customer left a review, it would only display on their profile. Customer wouldn't be able to see it. Nobody would be
Sorry,
able
that's
to
what I
see it.
meant. It was that's what it is.
Oh,
What,
okay.
what
So
was I
if you're
saying?
a preference,
But I thought those are all fields. Or on those like
no, typically preferences are guided more towards items,
okay, my
item
bad.
specific stuff. But no, it's okay. It's okay. Just technicalities, you know. I did this morning for somebody. They wanted a similar thing, and they wanted to exclude everybody who hadn't done whatever that was.
Okay.
So just under a customer field, I created a customer field, and now this you have to make it so that way it's a text box, right? So you can't do a radio button, you can't do a checkbox because it's under the customer fields as if it's like an email, right? And then you can just put in there exclude anybody that has that field filled
Right.
out. And
Right.
then it would just show you everybody who doesn't have it filled out.
Mm,
Will it work 100%? I think there is a chance that people slip through the cracks, just with how our report structure is and how that field is created. Because it'll obviously be a custom word that you're putting in there.
yeah.
So unless if every single person did it the same way every time, as in put in their left review, or if somebody
Right.
mistakenly puts something different for whatever reason, it would then continue to populate on there. So that's the only downfall to that portion.
Mm, mm,
The person that was doing it was doing it. They have somebody manually going through and reviewing that document every single day. That is their focus. So
gotcha. I have another unrelated recommendation how to improve smart. The timings and on the driver app being much more alerted to them. It's almost hidden. It's almost not like the old app used to flash red in your face. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
I think so. If you were
If
going to
you're
be
running
late to
late or
one,
something. But
yeah,
like
yeah,
that was a start to the right idea, which is this has timing. The other ones say anytime. This one has timing. It would automatically like I think might even want to say it put it at the
put it
next
at the
spot.
top.
It would put it
Yeah,
at the top. It would flash red, bring your attention. The new one doesn't do that. That's a step backward. And then even more so, the timing is like small and unimportant to us or to Smart, but super important to the customer. So it's like making certain things more easy on the eye or readily available or alerting to the driver.
yeah.
That,
Prioritize importance.
yeah, that and whether or not we need a key because it's a regular occurrence. Forgot the key. Didn't know they needed a key because the only way that a driver knows that they need a key is that they have to literally
Click
go
into.
one by one and click into it. Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah,
It should be right there on the front page, gigantic key with a lock, you know,
yeah.
icon. G
Yeah,
needs key, red stop sign. I don't know, anything that would just let you know immediately, hey, I'm gonna be smart and help you prevent an error.
yeah, yep.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the timing one is a good one.
I think the
The key
timing and the
one,
key. Timing and the
yeah, the
key is a
key,
good one.
because the key could be placed, if I'm remembering correctly, it could be placed right next to the name.
I mean,
I wonder if we do the exact same thing
it's
with
inside of
lockers.
it right now. You just have to place it outside of it.
Yeah, just in the manifest that
I
I could
think
just scroll and say, okay, yeah,
so. It's the bones are there already. You just have to move where it displays it. Yeah.
yep,
The other thing would be fixing the pickup and delivery. identifier. Manually scheduled stops are automatically identified as a pickup. What if you want to manually schedule the delivery? The only way
Yeah.
the only way the system thinks of it as a delivery is if it schedules it itself.
Yeah.
Just toggling. If I'm going to create a stop, I can toggle. Is this a pickup or delivery? That way, the driver, me, and the system, all of us know this is a delivery.
Yeah. I'm intentionally going to deliver this.
Yeah. And then they get the automated message, your delivery for tomorrow is scheduled. And the number of times, and I've discussed it with you, people get your pickup for tomorrow scheduled. Pickup, it's a delivery. It's
Yep.
like, sorry, I scheduled your pickup, your delivery in advance, but our system doesn't know that. It doesn't put two and two of knowing that you have an order that's
You have an order.
and you're scheduled for delivery
Yeah. I think that's been a problem.
since time immemorial.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get those three going.
Yeah. I mean, I'll see what I can do.
Key and pickup delivery identifier.
Yeah. Those would be good.
Everybody would be happy.
We were able to push biweekly and monthly stops before we were able to designate pickup and deliveries.
You were able to do what?
So we were able to push and get biweekly stops
Mhm.
and monthly stops before we were able to designate what is a pickup and what is a delivery. So I think that's
It should have came before.
yeah, right, exactly. It should have that probably should have been done beforehand. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. A little over our time, but we'll go ahead and wrap this up. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great rest of your week.
Thank you for everything, Tyler.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.